Hi everybody, we're going to do a warm-up drawing now. This is a 1 minute timed drawing, so I've got a timer. I'm actually using my iPad, but it's too big to put in underneath the film. And you'll need a pencil sharpener, an object of anything. It can be anything you like. It doesn't even matter what it is. I've just chosen some broken shells from the beach. In fact, I might even just use these two today. Put them where you can see them. So ideally you want to have great line of sight. I'm going to use my 4B pencil. I'll put these out of the way for the moment. Now the idea of how you do this is you're just looking at the shapes that you can see. I like to start with a line drawing. I like to look for the size comparisons of what this size of the part of the shell, I don't even know, I'm going to call it a stem, compared to the main body of the shell. How big is this compared to that? I'm getting my eye and my hand coordination working together. So often you'll start a drawing, you won't know where to start. You'll be really slow and particular and detailed, and if you're anything like me, you get bogged down in the detail and you forget what the rest of it looks like. So I might be looking at this tiny bit in the center thinking, that's a nice sort of spiral sort of shape there, but I forget the rest of it. I've got to look at the whole. So these quick 1 minute timed drawings, you've got to try and get the whole shape in, and the whole, if I'm going to draw those two shells, the size comparison in with it. The size relationships is what I'm trying to say in that moment. So I've only recently, in the last couple of years, discovered these 1 minute drawings, and they've been so good for me. All right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to put my timer on for 1 minute, and then I might not talk very much because it's like my brain goes to a different place. So I'll see how I go. All right, just press start for 1 minute. Now I have a tendency to go big. I'm mostly looking at my page at the shell, rather than, I do get a bit panicked sometimes. I think, I'm going to run out of time. I'm not going to fit it all in. Doesn't matter. You can do this as many times as you like. It's a warm-up drawing, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I always have to tell myself that. Practicing process. See how I'm faltering a little bit? It's best not to do that when it comes to these drawings. Just want to get the overall basic. 1 minute. Okay, now rather than turn over a new piece of paper, and you can use scrap paper, you can use the back of anything, I actually like to do these. I like to layer them with a few different colours and go again. So let's see what happens. Okay, press start. Okay, now I'm going to start from this end. So I'm actually going to pretend that original drawing, these are watercolour pencils, probably not the best choice because they're too soft, and actually they feel nice. So I'm faltering at this minute because my mind suddenly went to wondering what never mind, don't worry, I'll tell you in a minute. See what I mean about talking? So I always say to kids in class, if you're talking, you're missing out. Your brain's not working how you want it to when it comes to art. It's like the language capacity and the visual spatial capacity are very in different places. My drawings and my paintings are definitely not as, I think, as good, if you want to call them good or bad. They're not as good when I'm talking. as compared to when I'm silent. It's the same with, often I paint in silence. Sometimes I'll have a podcast. Anyway, so I'm going to keep going with this. We'll just keep going, shall we? I can always speed this part up. The more you do, the more your brain understands the shape. The more your eyes get to know where things are. I need to do a lot. Size relationships are really important. This really helps me. Doesn't really look like it. I think I might be a little trying to think about what I'm going to say and not really. Oh, I might even put some shadow in here. This one. That went quick, didn't it? Better not cheat. Just went and got a few other pencils, colours. So anyway, you can see it's messy. That's okay. It's a warm-up drawing.